Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today I am going to be bringing to you the final match from the NASL Season 2 Grand Finals. So that means at this point in time when this tournament was played in early December 2011, this was the last match. It was down to 2 players. It was down to just Puma and Hero, and it was going to be a best of 7. So we are going to be watching that entire best of 7 right here, right now, starting on game 1 here on NASL dual site, almost at MLG dual site, which I pretty much think is pretty much an identical map. I'm not sure. I don't know what NASL did to change any of their maps at all, but the maps all say NASL dual site or NASL Zelnaga Caverns and all that good business. So, spawning in the right position as the red Protoss playing from Team Liquid, we have Hero. His opponent spawning in the left position as the blue Terran playing from Team Evil Geniuses, we have Puma. Now, one quick little thing before we get started. I have once again changed my audio settings. Are you surprised? No, of course you're not, because that's what I've been doing a lot lately. In my struggles to try to make everybody on the internet's happy, am still tweaking my audio settings because I think it can still stand to go down a little bit, because I'm still getting a few complaints here and there that my audio settings are too loud, so I'm going to turn them down even more. I am now at a microphone volume of 4 out of 100, which I always thought 4 out of 100 would be ridiculously low, like nobody would be able to hear me, but apparently that is not the case, because before I was at 8 out of 100 and people were still saying way too loud. So bringing it back down. I know there are a few people that said that others were just trolling and that they actually like my volume settings, but I'm going to see if I can't make everybody happy and try to find some nice little middle ground where everyone can just listen and enjoy, and you'll be able to turn it up if you want to listen to it louder, and you'll be able to turn it down a little bit if you want it a little lower. But I definitely don't want to be blasting out anyone's eardrums ever, and so I'm going to be adjusting. Hope you guys enjoy this volume that it is now at. Please comment down below. Once again, you guys are being so patient with me, and I thank you guys so much for that, because I do really want to make everyone happy. So comment down below one more time for me and let me know how my volume settings are. If these volume settings are good, then please let me know. If they are not good, also let me know. Now, let's jump right into this game right now. In Hero's base, we can see that he did go for the fast gateway cybernetics core, so it's not going to be a super fast nexus here, but I would almost expect him to be going for a fairly fast nexus. Hero's definitely a more macro-oriented player. He's capable, like most Koreans are, of going for some early pressure builds and some early cheeses and things, but from what I've seen of his play, he really likes the macro, and he's good at macro. He's a very good macro Protoss player. So I would almost expect to see a Nexus coming down here fairly soon. We do only have 1 gas taken so far. We do see that Warp Gate research is being researched right now. He does have 1 Zealot out on the map moving across towards his opponent's base. Stalker moving forward as well. Those 2 units are generally the first 2 units you get out of your gateways when you want to go try to poke at your opponent's front, get a little bit more information. The Zealot can walk up the ramp a little bit, take a little bit of damage, and the Stalker can deal some damage there if there are Marines and things behind that bunker. You can get a little bit of early scouting information that way. Very common opening for Protoss players. We do see that a command center has now been thrown down here by Puma, following only 1 barracks, so it looks like it's going to be a 1 racks expand here from Puma. There is now a reactor down on this 1 barracks. A bunker is now down as well to defend. Hero going to be trying to poke up a little bit, trying to see what his opponent's doing, trying to get a good read. All he spots is the barracks with the reactor, and he sees the bunker, so he sees that's a little bit more defensive of a play. So he might be a little nervous here. He might be a little bit nervous about what his opponent is doing right now, because I don't think he could actually see that command center. No, he didn't actually see that command center going from that ramp. So he didn't actually know that Puma's going for an expand there, and he sees a reactor on that barracks. So that could just be so many different openings. There could be all kinds of hidden tech in the back. So Hero's going to be just a little bit suspicious right now. Definitely going to try to play it a little bit more safe. And as we can see, there we go. Following his Nexus going down here at the natural expansion, he is going to be throwing down a couple more gateways, getting those gateways up and running. Warp Gate research going to be done here very soon. Notice he did start to get up a couple of sentries. It looks like just 1 sentry for the time being. No more on the way say at the moment, but I would almost anticipate him getting a few more just because of the possible Marine push that could be coming very soon, just because he did see that reactor barracks. There could be a big barracks push coming as far as he knows. Ooh, he has one stalker that is out front, and it is now going to see a lot of Marines starting to move out here. We might start to see more sentries being warped in here very soon. Sentry Zealot very early on before Marines have stim and all kinds of other upgrades. Sentry Zealot can be very, very strong at taking down Marines, and of course Stalker's very good at kiting Marines as well, just because their attack range is just a smidgen larger than Marines are. So with that range 6, they can actually kite Marines, because that plus the fact that they actually move a little bit faster means that they can kite Marines pretty effectively. Looks like Puma now going to be taking his natural expansion here. Hero just about similarly timed here, going to be on his natural expansion as well. So far, both players very, very even. Now, it looks like barracks are going to be the name of the game here for Puma, as he has thrown down a couple more barracks with Tech Labs, now going to be researching Stim and Combat Shield. And notice he is throwing down this Ghost Academy. This is very, very typical of Puma's play. Puma loves getting very early Ghost Academies against Protoss players, loves getting up lots of early Ghosts for those EMPs, because of course EMPs, if you think about it, are going to be a little bit more effective in the early game, just because there's not going to be as many units. You're not going to have these giant death balls. You're going to have small, compact groups of units of 10 or 15 units that are going to be a little bit more susceptible. You can take one EMP and hit a whole lot of units and take out a good percentage of their total army with just a relatively small number of units. Whereas as the army composition starts to get a little bit bigger, you need several Ghosts, several EMPs to really start to deal lots of damage. Now we can see, looks like Puma did start to push out there, but after seeing what Hero went for at the front, looks like he's now just going to be pulling back. There is one pylon now being dropped down here by Hero, going to be starting to warp in some units here on the side. In the base of Hero, we do see that more warp gates are now coming down here, bringing his warp gate count up to a total of 6. The robotics facility down as well right now. Ooh, looks like Hero's going to be trapping some Marines in the middle of the map, going to be picking off just a small number of units there. Beautiful pick off there by Hero, definitely worth the small amount of energy. I feel like he might have done one or two too many force fields there, but overall I think that was a worth it trade, because now he's going to be pushing in here. He's going to be very aggressive, and he's cut down the Marine count quite a bit. There are a couple of Ghosts, though, already out on the field. Looks like Hero's going to be continuing to warp in units here right up close. Going to be going for a fairly sizable attack here. Notice he's so far only been running on 3 gas up till now, just now taking his 4th gas. Now all of his 6 gateways are now done. Immortals are now out, coming down across the field. One is already out, a second going to be joining the fight very soon. We do see lots of Zealots now being warped in here by Hero, and he's going to be moving in here very shortly. He's going to be able to hit from 2 sides. Looks like Puma's going to be throwing down a bunker, but is that bunker going to get down in time? We did see a beautiful EMP going down here by Puma, as he managed to EMP all the sentries. All the sentries have no energy for any force fields at all, and I think that is going to precipitate quite a quick retreat here from Hero. And no, looks like Hero knows that he is going to have to be forced to fight, because these Marauders do have that concussive shell ability. Running away from stimmed Marauders is extremely difficult to do, so Hero just deciding to go for a fight, and Puma taking a huge win there, taking out Hero's entire army, and now Hero not going to be in the best of ways. Looks like Puma did manage to get into the base of Hero with 1 Marine. He managed to get a scout off. Gonna know that Hero went for that 6-gate robotics facility. Does he know that the Colossi are coming, though? That is going to be the question of the day. Where is that robotics bay? There it is, in the back. So I don't think that Puma did actually scout that. Does not know that that robotics bay is actually there. Doesn't know Colossi are quite on the way yet. He's actually going to be going for a push of his own here now, moving out with a good force of Marines and Marauders. Hero does have this observer here spotting the army, and it is going to be following that and knowing that it's coming, but there is not a whole lot at the front right now for Hero. If we check out the Harvester tab right now, we can see the players are both just about dead even here, saturated onto base. Is Puma going to get aggressive here? That's actually kind of a big question right now, because he did just take out a fairly sizable army. A lot of players will feel like they need to now feel a little bit of pressure to have to move out and attack before their opponent can build up too much more of an army here, but it looks like Puma is just going to be patient. I think I like that choice by Puma here to just continue to try to get ahead just after he won that little fight there. Now I feel like his best advantage here is just going to be trying to push ahead, try to stay ahead in the game. As we can see, he is going to be throwing down a third here, but it looks like Hero's going to be gearing up to take a third of his own, so both these players are going to be very even. Puma going to be trying to get in and scout, but it looks like Hero's going to be trying to get aggressive once again, go for 2 Colossi timing here. As 2 Colossi now out on the field, he is now moving across the field. Lots of Zealots here have been warped in. This composition, of course, will work fairly well because these Zealots are going to form a nice little barrier, a meat shield, if you will, for the Colossi. They do not quite yet have charge yet, I do not believe. No, charge is not done. We do see Blink is now being researched here by Hero. I almost feel like charge would be better in this position, but Hero now moving around trying to get a good position on this natural expansion as he is trying to come in and find a good angle. Notice that the extended thermal lance is now done for the Colossi. Here comes the stim from Puma as he is now going to be committing to this fight, and these Colossi already dealing so much damage right now. EMP's going down all over the army of Hero, dropping all the shields out so quickly, but the Colossi are still alive. Is Hero going to be reinforcing? No, he has no forward pylon to be able to reinforcement with very quickly, but both of these forces very small, actually getting some lag right now, and no, looks like that is just going to be clearing up as these 2 Colossi are now going to be pulling back. More and more Zealots being warped in here for Hero. Notice he is just now going to be taking his third here. The third of Puma is up and a little bit ahead, but is Hero going to be able to deny it? Looks like he's kind of moving down this way with those 2 Colossi, and if he starts to poke in here, he's going to be able to take that out. Oh no, and Puma catching some of these Zealots off guard, gets a Zealot for free, and now he's going to be trying to decide whether he wants to engage this army because Hero is actually remaxing very fast. We do see more Stalkers now being warped in as well as a Sentry here, going to start to make their way across the field. In the meantime, looks like this Planetary Fortress is going to get up here for Puma, so he's going to be in a good position right now. In the base of Puma, we do see that there are currently a good number of barracks up. Looks like 5 racks, 2 with reactor, 3 with tech lab. No other tech yet up. We did see a factory floating around here somewhere, but where's the starport? I know there's a starport somewhere because we have a few medevacs just getting on the field. There we go. There's that one starport with Vikings now being produced. And it looks like Puma's going to be going up for a drop here as he is going to be loading up a few units into these medevacs, going for a drop. Hero's third still not up yet, and we're starting to see that being reflected in the food count. As we can see, Puma is up in food, 126 food to 106 food of Hero, and if we check out the harvester count, we can see that Hero had stopped pretty much at worker production there for a little while. Now he's going to be going back to worker production once that third gets up, but that gave Puma a little bit of time to get that third up and running. In the meantime, Puma's going to be moving out here with an army along the northern side of the map, or the western side of the map, rather. And in the meantime, where did those drops go? There we go. The drops are still just hanging out right now. Looks like they're not going in quite yet, and it looks like Puma just kind of trying to control the center a little bit, trying to move around with a small group of units. Needs to be very careful, needs to not be caught. Unfortunately, it looks like Hero doesn't really have a whole lot of sentries right now. Doesn't have a whole lot of force fields available to him. He only actually has 1 sentry right now, and I feel like against bioforces, you really need more sentries if you're not going to be going for Templar. If you're going to be getting Templar, then you definitely want to be going for this. We do see that 2 Templar currently out on the field, and it looks like that is going to be all that Hero's going to be getting here, but oh, the Viking count here is getting pretty high, and I think this tech switch into Templar was a very good choice here for Hero, as Psystorm is now researched, and that is going to be very, very helpful because it pretty much is going to negate these Vikings pretty much. I mean, if Puma commits too heavily to these Vikings and invests too many resources in these Vikings, that is going to be a lot of resources that he could have spent on Marines and Marauders that are going to be pretty much worthless once these 2 Colossi go down, just because the resources of Hero are now being spent mostly into ground units. Lots more High Templar are being warped in. We do have that drop actually going down now in the back. Oh no, the charge research is actually still completing, and it is not going to complete, and Hero did not get the cancel on it, so that charge is not going to be down for a little while. In the meantime, looks like Puma going to be moving into the third base, trying to do some damage there. Is Puma going to be able to clean this attack up? There is an Immortal there, and I think that Immortal is really going to be the lifesaver there for Hero, as he's going to be able to clean that up. And in the meantime, it looks like Hero has managed to push this attack back. Looks like that both players trying to get a good angle on this attack here. These Vikings getting an excellent angle there, as they are going to be able to pick off that one Colossus. The other one taking some damage there. And oh, it looks like that other Colossus might actually go down. And yes, those Colossus do go down just because all the stalkers had pulled back to deal with this here, and now Puma in an absolutely fantastic position to take this match. 169 food to the 113 of Hero. He is way ahead if we take out the harvester count right now. 48 to 66 harvesters right now, and he is in a good spot. His third base has been up and mining quite a bit better than Heroes has been mining. Heroes is not quite fully saturated there, almost saturated there at that third base, and ooh, beautiful EMPs there going down for Puma, and that is going to be so helpful as these Immortals now without shields are not nearly as good. Of course, the Immortals with that hardened shield, reduces all incoming damage to 10 damage if it is over 10 damage, which basically means that if your shields are down, you're not going to be getting the benefit of that tankiness, and it looks like Hero is just going to GG out of Game 1, meaning that Puma has taken Game 1, and we are now going to be jumping into Game 2 of 7 of Hero versus Puma from the NASL Season 2 Grand Final. So stick with me, guys. Game 2 in just a moment.